everyone, D Square here. Hello, comic book fans, especially X-Men comic book fans. Well, today is the day they have released the House of X. They're going to release the Powers of 10 next week. This, of course, if you haven't heard already, is written by Jonathan Hickman, a very renowned writer, and so there's a lot of excitement to see, what he is going to do. I'm going to try and not ramble too much in this episode, but I will tell you that I did have to make a major decision. I know that normally my comic book reviews are followed by a breakdown where I offer some images and kind of go through the story of that issue with you here. And I did ultimately decide, at least for now, that I'm just going to do a pure, mostly spoiler free review of this issue, okay? Because you should definitely go get it, okay? Go get this comic. If you're a new comic reader, this is a great jumping on point, okay? Now, I know I said that back all the way in Uncanny X-Men #1, but this is a true jumping on point for any X-Men fan that wants to become a comic X-book fan. So, I'll tell you why. Okay, because this is world building, okay? There is not a whole lot of context given in this issue as to the current situation. It just kind of said, boom, here we are, right? It is different than most situations that the mutants have been in. It seems like for the last really 10, 15 years, the mutants have really been in an extinction type situation. Whether it be M-Day or the M-Pox, and all of that, of course, is due to the Fox Disney fight, or not really fight, but Fox had the X-Men, and so any X-Men comic that Marvel came out and promoted was really putting money in Fox's pocket. So they really tried to kill off the X-Men in a number of different ways, and it progressively gotten worse and worse pretty much over the past decade. But now the X-Men are back home with Marvel Studios. They're going to be in the MCU. I know Comic-Con just happened. I'm not going to rehash all that because that's not really my thing. But we did learn some new exciting stuff, particularly about the X-Men going forward. We learned about the new X-Men titles. I'm particularly interested in the X-Men, which seems to be mostly revolving around the Summers family. But hey, you've got Scott, Jean, Wolverine, Corsair, which is Scott Summers' father, Alex Summers. I mean, it just looks Cable, so that looks cool. And then, of course, I'm a big Colossus fan. He's going to be on the X-Force team, and I like the X-Force books anyway. I like the more CIA, Black Ops type X-Men, so I've always liked that team anyway, and Colossus is back on it. He's been on it before. But nonetheless, before we get all to that, Hickman is going to world build here. He's going to put us in the proper situation. And so this book is awesome. It is great artwork-wise. The artwork just looks absolutely beautiful. So they did a great job there. The story is not really a story as much as, again, it's world building. It tells us, what the mutants are, where the world is at. There's even like pages of graphs and maps and inventory, just so you know these particulars. Who are the Omega level mutants? What does this do to this group? So Hickman has done a great job here of laying it all out so we can start to learn how this world works. And that's why this is a great jumping on point, because as I read through this comic, there are X-Men that are back from the dead. You do not know why. There are X-Men that aren't exactly acting like themselves. You don't know why. So it doesn't really tell us what happened. In the last issue, Uncanny X-Men #22, Charles Xavier isn't in the picture. It's the X-Men have just returned back from the Age of X-Men, and so they've realized, what, we're at war with the humans. We've always been at war with the humans. Boom, end scene. And now here we are, where the mutants are in a completely different situation. Okay, they're not at war with the humans here. All right, they are coming from a position of power. Like I said, the last 10, 15 years, they've been basically almost extinct. down to hundreds of mutants, ragtag X-Men teams put together because they're the only mutants that have survived. The Genosha incident is mentioned in here, where tens of millions of mutants were destroyed, and they go over the significance of that event and what it actually meant when it came to the struggle between Homo sapien and Homo sapiens superior. So, the past is certainly not forgotten, but we definitely are building to a new beginning, a beginning that, we're just going to have to see how it unfolds. There is not a whole lot of context given in this book. Do not expect a story that says, okay, now here's how the X-Men got to the... Nope, it just, boom, here's what it is. Charles Xavier is walking around. Who knows about that? I mean, if you read the Astonishing X-Men comic where it was a whole thing with Psylocke, freeing Professor X from Farouk the Shadow King's reality. So she's really the only X-Men that knows that Xavier is alive. And if you didn't read those comics, you don't know either. So for all intents and purposes, Xavier has not been in the picture, presumed dead, and boom, there he is walking with some sort of cerebral helmet there. You see some plant-like stuff, so Krakoa does take a center stage in this piece. Actually, very, very center stage here. Krakoa is doing a lot. So, but that's what this is. This is setting this up. There's going to be 6 House of X. There's going to be 6 Powers of 10. They're going to be leapfrogging every week. So we're going to get a lot of X-Men comics here in a short amount of time, and then it's going to lead up to the new titles that we learned about in Comic-Con. Quick Google search, and that'll reveal all of that. So definitely make sure that you pick this issue up on your way home from work today. If you're thinking, should I get this? Absolutely. I've got 2 copies. Just because one I'm kind of handling and all that, and the other one I'm just going to actually need to get it in a bag with a border. But, I'm going to leave that to be pristine, and this one I'll, maybe let people borrow if they're interested or whatever. But you shouldn't have to borrow it, because you should go buy this comic. Jump on now, X-Men fans. Become X-Men comic book fans. Learn about the new world of the mutants and the X-Men, and see how this all plays out. Okay? So that's my review, which is, this is awesome. Go buy it. This is a great jumping on point. I don't know the entire context of this world yet, but this is what this series is going to do, as well as the Powers of 10. They've literally got graphs and stuff in here for you to understand, what is going on. Okay, that's not an advertisement or nothing. These are literally pages within this comic. Let me show you the one where, like, the inventory, the Omega level mutants. Sorry, I don't want to dally too much here. So let me find this. Okay. Well, here's another list of, like, where all the tech is that belong to Avengers and whatnot. So there's a map in here. And again, I'm not going to flip through it anymore because I don't want to waste any more time. I just want to tell you to go get this book. That's why I got this review out today, because it's out today. You can go get it today. You give it a couple days, you give it a week. That's probably not going to be the case. I mean, don't worry. There's going to be variant covers. There's going to be re-releases. But to get the actual first print, again, make sure you drop by the comic book store today, before work, after work, on your lunch. Make the decision, make the right decision of jumping on with House of X. Okay? Great stuff here. 10 out of 10. Everyone, have a great rest of your day. And I hope to see you again here on my D-Squared channel. We're going to be doing a review of Powers of 10 next week. See you then.